What's up, investors? Hey, I have a new trade setting up right now, and I'm looking to enter the market, and I wanted to bring to your attention just how I would do that when all of the confirmations are not showing, where you potentially could, gain some pips. It could be 20 pips, could be 50 pips. All you have to do is look for certain parameters, and I'm going to show you down the line here. So this is going to be a work in progress, but if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I do have a few videos coming up down the pipe that's going to be quite interesting in how we approach the market using simplicity, triple arrow, trend line breaks, and that nature. All right, stay tuned. All right, so on the Aussie New Zealand, the market has been pushing down. We were in a couple of trades prior. I think since the 25th, I've been kind of playing this particular pair a little bit, and there was a potential trade setting up that we was going to go long in, but the parameters never got met, so we decided to stay out of that market, and for good reason. Look at this. 2 hours ago we ended up pushing down even more, and now we are in extreme oversold territory. Extreme oversold territory. And what that would mean for us is that we need to start paying attention to a potential reversal. Doesn't mean that it's setting up just yet. It just means it's getting pretty close, and you want to pay ultra attention to that notion right there. I think that we should see a little bit more of a decline, meaning it's probably going to really go into that extreme zone, and then we're going to see signs of a pullback, right? If that is the case, then I want to go down to a lower time frame, like over here, utilizing triple arrow, and see if things start to align itself. It's very important. Like right now, we still have a move to the downside. We have on the 15-minute, we have nothing setting up. We're really pushing down on the MACD. It's a number of things that's taking place that says, oh, we got to wait. But now that we know something is coming, this is where you want to pay very close attention. All right, so if I can show you guys exactly how this will look on simplicity, so let's bring that up. As you can see on simplicity, we are in the buy zone, and basically what that means is because the buy zone is dynamic, it shifts according to market movement. As price action continues down, then it will be a new zone, potential reversal happening, right? So you will want to buy in this zone here. Even though price is falling, this is where you want to buy. And the opposite, if price was climbing, this is where you want to sell. So right now, nothing is showing up on simplicity on the hourly. Let's break it down. On the 30-minute time frame, it's showing pretty much the same thing. So it's safe to say that on a smaller time frames, until we get a little bit more of a pullback here, it's going to show the same thing. All right, so we are in holding mode. This is where patience pays the bills, and this is where we got to pay very close attention to market movement. All indicators saying we are continuing down right now, so we don't want to play any opposite direction type trades. And that's it. So we're going to hold off until we see otherwise. All right, so far in this trade, it's working out. It's doing pretty decent. I would like to have seen a little bit more of a continuation, but let's go up to a higher time frame and see exactly what's going on to see if this trade is worth staying in. Okay, so we got triple arrow, and we have a close above the 50, and since we got in on an earlier time frame, we got in at a better price, in my opinion. So let's wait and see what happens on this trade. Let's see if we can have a move, let's say down further down here, and then up to this upper channel. So I'm thinking an extra 30 some odd pips. Yeah, that's fairly decent to call it. And do I believe there's any room to go higher than that? Probably not. I really think we're in a down move here, so I don't really think we're going to expect any more out of this particular trade. Not this particular setup. Now, if it ends up being a continuation, then I will be closely monitoring it, looking for double arrows to pop up. If you don't understand exactly what I mean by triple arrows, trading the double arrows as well, then please check out my Facebook group, Take Two Capital. The link will be down in the description below. So you can see exactly how I trade on a day-to-day basis. If I'm not always posting here, I'm definitely posting there quite frequently. All right, so we just climbed out of this little small consolidation area and we broke out of that area. We're getting ready to approach some resistance. So we're going to see what happens around that time. But so far, so good. Looking good. I'm on a 15-minute time frame. So we're already above the 50 on that. And hopefully in 30 minutes, we should get a close, I hope, above this. Otherwise, it's going to end up kind of shooting back down, which it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. It's going to come down and retest. But we still can get that retest, even though we kind of shooting out over here throughout the Asian session. So let's wait and see what happens. You know what? Let me go ahead and put in. Let me look at my my other chart. Just want to take a look real quick, see where we are. All right, so this is the hourly chart, and yeah, so far so good in my opinion. Based on what I see, yeah, we still got a little bit of room to go towards. Yeah, some potential blockages along the way, but I think nonetheless we might be able to see some upside potential, right? So we shall see. Now, again, I started this trade strictly off of the RSI because I recognize that that price went into the extreme category, right? And there was need for a pullback. Now, how much that pullback can be, well, we don't really know for sure. But what I will be doing is taking profits off. Like on this account, I'm trading at $1 pip. I have another account. I got the same trade running. So I'm probably going to take profit off that other account and let this one go. Because I'm looking for like a 45, 50 pip move. We'll see if we get there or get close. And then, I'll reassess at that point. All right, looks like we are breaking out. Basically, we had a pullback, and I stayed in the trade just to see because I was believing that this price would, climb back up, and it did. It did just that. So that's a good look. We now look like we could break above this resistance level here, and if that candle closes above, then I'm probably inclined to stay in it. However, if it produces a wick here, I'm probably going to be looking to exit the trade. Right now I'm in it for about 31 pips, 32 pips. So it's a good move, good momentum, but I want to see what's going to happen at the close of this candle and how this level of resistance unfolds. And if it all is well, then we might have a little bit more momentum to this next level here, and we shall see. All right, so I decided to close out this trade right when we could not break above this resistance zone. I find that to be problematic because there's no guarantee that we're going to see a push to the upside right away. So that being said, I didn't want to risk losing any of my profits that I've already made. I closed out my larger account right at the top here. That was already preset. But over here in this account, I decided to get out at 26 pips. And I'm okay with that because based on what I see, it looked like we could be entering a small consolidation area. And I didn't want to be kind of tied up in all that, risking drawdown or worse, a loss for no apparent reason. Triple Arrow did its job. The channel was already small, so technically how I trade Triple Arrow, once I have a signal to get in, I would trade to the top of the channel. However, because of how I got into the marketplace, let me show you real quick. Because of how I got in, the market showed on our side that we were definitely in extreme oversold territory, so we were due for a nice pushback, which technically we got that. So if you played that correctly, then you definitely could have, traded in such a way where your your profits could have been substantial, right? But I'm not really a scalper, so naturally I don't look for a scalping move. I look for a reversal. I look for continuations, and I try to get 40 to 50 pips. I didn't get out of this trade, and that happens sometimes, and that's something that I'm happy that I was able to demonstrate that, pretty much live here, because it doesn't always set up the way you think it's going to set up, but at least I was able to capture some pips here. Now, how many times did this happen? It don't happen that often. I mean, usually if I'm sticking to one particular pair, I may have it happen once every 2-3 months, where I have to get out of a trade, in my opinion, based on my strategy prematurely. Whereas others, you might be saying, hey, well, I'm still in this trade. Well, it depends on what time you're in, and whether you're in on an hour chart or 5 minute. Now, keep in mind, I got in on a lower time frame, and then I started looking at the higher time frame to see where my level of resistance could be, and could I weather the storm. Knowing that is a structure type strategy, I was able to say, hey, I can stay in here because the next level of structure was a good 10 pips away at that time. And that's good enough for me to make it a very sound strategy. However, if you're really trying to get in and go for 50, 60 pips because you're risking 2% of your account, then I would expect you to probably stick with the higher time frames, looking for a signal there. Let's just say we went to the 4 hour. Well, in the 4 hour, you see barely anything happen. So if I'm waiting, because now we have the big arrow, and if price pushes up and we end up getting triple arrows here, then that may be a trade to consider. But even then, I'm still going down to the lower time frame, like the 1 hour, and I'm looking for a potential entry. But in that case, if you wait for the 4 hour, it's going to be up here that you get that potential entry, and you would have missed this opportunity here. But just keep in mind, because we're hitting certain blockades, you want to really watch out for that. Like even here, I don't have a full body candle breaking above. I could consider this to be a move, but because I was already in on the trade, I find that to be invalid if I'm looking for a re-entering area. So for me, it would have to break above these resistance levels and possibly become support before I even think about re-entering on this particular pair. So I think it was a good trade, not what I was anticipating, and that's something that will happen on a regular basis. For those who trade daily, you're going to notice it a lot more than even I do. But that being said, you still can win. And just notice how, matter of fact, let me go back down to 15 minutes so I can show you guys. Notice how, when this trade did break out, did go into drawdown for me, and then climb back out, I immediately moved my stop to break even. So whatever happens. I don't really like to play those choppy patterns. I don't like the up and down scenario, but it did that. It did it once for me, and I wasn't going to allow it to do it again. If it was just to be a break even trade, then so be it. But nonetheless, I'll be willing to do the setup again, and maybe the next time it will break out. So I say all that to say this: you need to stick to the same strategy. If this is your strategy, don't deviate from that, from pair to pair. Stick with the same one, see what works. Yes, sometimes you're going to have losses. Sometimes it might be a few in a row. But if you're having money management, sound money management principles, trade management, you're going to do just fine. You just got to be consistent with that strategy and taking those trades. If you find yourself missing a lot of opportunities, don't get mad. Don't get upset. Just reorganize your schedule so you know that, hey, I'm looking at least, taking a bird's eye view at the charts at certain intervals throughout the day. So if you see a signal that pop up, then yeah, you definitely can win. Real quick before I end this video, let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And this is the 15-minute chart. This is one of the things I tell my members in the Facebook group. We all a team here. So if you see something, say something, and that's the direction I like for everybody to go in. Because again, look at this. Triple arrow came in, We had a big bullish candle. We entered the market. However, what if you missed that trade? Well, the easiest thing to do is to go down to a lower time frame, because the 50 generally will be respected if this trade is going to be extending somewhat. So if you go down to a lower time frame, then you get to see for yourself exactly how it's going to play out and work from there. Triple arrow came in again. We moved to the downside. This was a more straightforward trade, just like the other one. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes you get what we just had, which was a choppy situation. So I think it was a good comparison, so you can see how trades can be smooth, a lot smoother than what we just got. But at times we can end up in this choppy situation, and now you have to find a different way to really look at the market. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be a little bit more patient than normal. See, right here, we in this little tight band going sideways. So I have this thing where I always tell my group, hey, breakout traders, where you at? Because even if you don't trust any other signal that you get, the one thing you can trust is putting your zones in place, right? So as you put your zones in place, you get to see for yourself exactly how this trade could unfold. If it breaks out, then that's a good trade, right? As you can see, it broke out, and if you trade it correctly, it would have been a nice little small move for you. You know, so naturally you don't have to take these trades. I would, so you can get used to them. Just go down to a lower lot size and see for yourself exactly how you can profit in this marketplace. As you can see, it only broke out for a little bit, but then kind of got back into a tight little band where you could have followed the same methodology again. Put your zones in at the next level and trade the breakout. But notice how both times here, the triple arrow came in here, it worked out, right? We got another triple arrow, but we wouldn't have gotten in on the other triple arrow because it would not have hit your, it would not have been an entry. It never broke out of the zone, right? So that's something you got to watch too. Then you got another triple arrow in this tight band, and that one worked out. So just keep that in mind. That's something you got to practice as well, making sure you mark your lines and, you know, work accordingly. Then when it finally broke out, it continued. So it was a continuation trade where you had 2 times, from what I can see, to re-enter the market going in the direction of the triple arrow. Very good setup. All right, if you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you can see when next time I have a video coming out. I will be posting more setups like this in the coming days as trades are setting up as I see it. So you can get a better understanding of how I still use the original triple arrow. I use simplicity as well. Simplicity is golden, actually. It's actually a pretty decent system to have. If you're looking forward to utilizing simplicity, I will show you more setups on that as well. But I have other methods to entering the market because my goal right now is to try to find better entries. Not perfect, but near perfect entries to getting into the market. All right. So any questions you may have, don't hesitate to hit me up over that Take Two Capital Facebook group. My link will be down in the description, so we can begin to get you on this journey of being profitable for a lifetime instead of looking for a short-term gain. We're not about this little short-term in and out. We are about a long-term growth, building wealth. So I will be explaining more of how we'll utilize our money down the road, so you can see exactly, you know, what we do with the profits that we get. So stay tuned.